going. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the number one tax mistake exposed. Now, what I'm going to try to do is share my screen. All right. So the number one tax mistake exposed, guys. The reason I'm laughing or smiling, I should say, right, is because it's probably not what you think it is. Okay. And I'm going to open up my chat right here. Yeah, so I can see what you guys are saying, or if you're commenting, I would appreciate that. Okay, awesome. So the number one tax mistake exposed. Now, it is not necessarily things that you are doing wrong in your business, right? When it comes to taxes, it's not what you should be doing in terms of a tax strategy. It really has to do with how do you think about it, right? So what is the number one tax mistake exposed? Number one tax mistake is a choice. Your choice. The reason you are overpaying in taxes is because you have made wrong choices. And I will talk about that in just a minute, what I mean by that, right? Now, when you are growing your business and you're investing in marketing, you make a choice. If that marketing doesn't work for your business, you made that choice. If you hired a wrong person in a business, you made that choice. If you are overpaying in taxes, you made that choice. If you have a tax preparer and not a tax planner, you are overpaying in taxes. Can I get an amen to that? Let's do it. Show me some love in the comment section, right? If you have a tax preparer, you do not have a tax planner. And that is why you are overpaying in taxes. Let me tell you a joke, okay? A story, a joke, however you want to call it. My second year in accounting degree, I bought this big textbook, okay? This big textbook, it cost $200, okay? I'm in my first year or second year in college, second year accounting degree. I had to pay $200 for a textbook. Accounting 101, okay? I kid you not. I open up the first chapter of Accounting 101 and there's this joke. A job interview for an accounting position. Okay, we've got a job interview for an accounting position, and during that job interview for an accounting position, 3 accountants come for the job interview. The job interviewer interviews the first accountant and says, "Hey, hello, great," and he asks the question, "What's 2 plus 2?" The accountant looks at him and says, "4. Thank you. We'll be in touch." Calls in the job interview, calls in the second person, sits him across and says, "What's 2 plus 2?" He says, 5. Thank you. We'll be in touch. Calls in the third accountant and says, "Hey, what's 2 plus 2?" He says, "What do you want it to be?" Right? Daniel got it right. He said, "It depends," right? But really, I kid you not, this joke was in my textbook. He said, "What do you want it to be?" He says, "You're hired." Okay. So why am I telling you this? And why am I telling you that the number one tax mistake exposed is your choice? It is up to you how much you can pay in taxes and how much you want to pay in taxes. It is really up to you. It's just that you haven't made the right choice. You're not working with the right person. Now, tax preparers are not wrong people to work with. Their job is to put the right numbers in the right boxes, not necessarily do tax planning and do tax strategies for you. Okay. Now, what you need are tax strategies. Now, you might say, "Okay, great, Boris. I'm hiring my children. I have an S corporation. I have a retirement account." Those are the things that we talked about, right? But I'm talking about something a little deeper than that. Okay. What I'm talking about when I say tax planning is not just immediate things that you can do in your business: S corporation, reasonable compensation, accounting plan, hiring your children, restructuring your entities. No, those are all check marks. Definitely, those are all check marks. But let's look at the big picture. What can you do right now to start coming up with a strategy, creating a tax strategy for you, right? Creating a tax strategy for you. Daniel earlier said real estate. What does that mean, Daniel? Oh, I'm going to invest in real estate. What does that mean? I'm going to invest in real estate. Do you have a strategy to do that? Do you know what benefits, tax benefits, wealth benefits real estate is going to bring to you. Are you looking to do residential? If you are, well, there are a lot of hurdles, right? Oh, you actually entered purchase residential to take a depreciation. Yeah, almost. What type of depreciation gives you a paper loss? Are you able to deduct the paper loss because it's a passive loss? Are you qualified? Are you a real estate professional? What is your strategy right now to make sure, oh, I bought a property, I'm going to take depreciation. What is that depreciation going to do for you in numbers? How does that translate to tax savings? Do you have a tax strategy on that? Now, again, I'm not talking about all these quick tax planning strategies, hiring children, S Corp, right? Salary. No, I'm talking about now that you know you're making a few $100,000 a year or even $1 million a year, and you're taking advantage of all these great strategies will save you 20, 30, or 40,000. But do you have a strategy built out, customized to you? I'm going to start investing in real estate. What real estate? Residential? Like I said, you have passive loss limitations. If you're making over 150,000, you're not a real estate professional. Commercial? What is that? Is that commercial means renting to your own business? Because there's check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. Great tax strategy. Do you have that built out when you say real estate? Now, also, when you is it short-term rental? Man, short-term rental, money, 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 money. Great cash flow. The depreciation doesn't follow the same restriction laws as if it's a residential real estate. Now, of course, you have to meet certain criteria, short-term rental, less than 7 days rented, all of that stuff. But do you have that strategy lined out that from now on, I know that I will invest in real estate. This is what it's going to produce as an income for tax savings. I mean, right? This is the tax savings it's going to produce. Do you have that strategy set up, right? So again, the number one tax secret exposed, ladies and gentlemen, it's the choices that you make. Okay. It's the choices that you make in the business on how to treat your taxes. Who are you working with? Now, I'm not hating on tax preparers, but their job is, if your accountant all it does is taxes and putting the right numbers in the right boxes, that's their job, to be compliant. Now, I'm not saying that you should be a tax strategist in this relationship, but you should have another person that does tax strategy and planning for you or provides that kind of a support. When you open a business, you hire a marketing individual, right? That's one person who does all the probably paid marketing for you, social media content, somebody else who does websites, specializes in SEO, right? Or any other field of the area, for example. You need somebody to pick up the phone, the call center, whatever that is. But you hire that, but you're not going to hire an operations manager to do all of that for you. The operations manager is going to handle that, right? So when it comes to your taxes, same thing. You either have a tax preparer or you have a tax strategist. Does that make sense? Can I get some comments in the comment section and the chat below? Show me some love. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this? Yes, that's right, Marta. That makes sense, doesn't it? You have to work with the people that use resources and tools that gives you tax strategy. Now, so like Daniel earlier gave us a lot of examples of tax strategies. That comes out to our tax planning list. Bam, 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 30, 40,000 easily in savings, 10,000, 15,000. But what if you want to save more than that? Because I am sure that a business owner, you just want to grow, 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 and grow. So your income is going to grow. Now, if you can have that strategy, that what type of retirement account am I going to have? Am I going to have a retirement account? Can I open up a self-directed tax-free retirement account to fund a lot of money, invest in real estate? What is your strategy? Okay. So again, the difference between tax preparer and tax planner. Now, Daniel says, so you hire two accountants? One accountant can do both. Depends on the accountant. And Daniel is 100% right. But that comes with a caveat, right? In my firm, for example, we specialize in tax planning. We only bring in clients if we can do tax planning for them. But then these clients say, Boris, wait, I want you to do our taxes as well. And we take them on and we do their taxes and the implementation of all the strategies and do advisory services. But we are very careful with how we provide the service, right? And that's what you should be expecting of the people that you work with. Number one, we have tax preparation and advisory. We have a separate person, a designated person who does tax preparation for the client. And then we have a designated person who does tax advisory, which is planning, meeting with clients on a quarterly or 2 times a year basis on those mandatory tax planning meetings, we call them, and speak to clients. These two people are independent of each other. They work together. We all work together as a firm, right? But this person right here, tax preparation, work papers, estimates, and communicating, getting all documents, preparing return, and then we have a person that also reviews, right? I'm going to put an R, reviews all this work to make sure that we take care of everything. And then the strategies, the advisor takes a look at that review and make sure that all the strategies were implemented, right? Making sure of all that. And this person has separate meetings and conversations with accountant, with clients to make sure that this goal right here, the choices that the client makes, translates into tax dollars, tax savings dollars. I mean, excuse me, should not take translate into tax dollars. Does that make sense? Right? So avoid making this mistake. Be proactive about the choices that you make in your business when it comes to taxation. Few things you can do to measure if your accountant is really doing what it's supposed to. Number one, find out what is your accountant's job, okay? Or what is your tax preparer's job? And that's pretty easy. If you meet with your accountant once or twice a year, talk to them about really most that has to do with tax preparation, that person is probably a tax preparer. And that's okay to have a tax preparer. But to succeed in business, you need a tax planner. Like every rich person, every successful person, every successful entrepreneur, all these moguls, they all have a tax team. That is not a tax team that does tax preparation. That is the tax team that does planning and says, if you do this, if you open up this type of entity, this type of a trust, this type of a real estate strategy, this type of things, you will pay less in taxes. So how can you measure if the tax planner is really who you're looking for? Number one, does that person, all he does, is that person also a tax preparer? Is that his main focus? Does that person have a team or another designated person that does tax preparation? Does that person meet with you at least 2 times a year, but that meeting is not connected to tax preparation? Solely tax planning meeting, right? Tax planning meeting. Are we meeting to discuss tax strategies? Are we meeting to discuss your goals? What have you done in the business so far? Oh, you're 100% up in your profit from last year? Got it. What are you doing with your money? What is your margin on that? Well, margin is 50% profit. Let's 50% profit, 200,000 in profit. So far this year, what did you do with that money? How much do you take home? Oh, you have that left over? Got it. Well, I think your tax bill might look this, but are you using this, these, and these tax planning strategies? We want to make sure we knock out all the simple tax strategies, right? And that, hey, I've recently learned something in the tax code. Something came out, and we can build your strategy based on that and achieve long-term savings. Does that include in the meeting, guys? Measure that, right? And then, what is the person's qualification? Now, I'm a CPA, and I do believe that in order for you to be a great tax planner, you don't necessarily need a CPA license, right? But you must have some kind of a designation, because anybody in America can become a tax preparer, right? Meaning that all they have to do is take IRS course, which was not required until a couple of years ago, and anybody could do tax returns by using TurboTax and charging you, right? So really find out, how long has that person been in business? What is their main focus? Is it main focus preparation, planning, and most importantly, results that they achieve for their clients? We always boast about our results. Our clients saved an estimate of $3.4 million on taxes last year using tax planning strategies. A lot of those clients are reaping, the fruit, the reward of their fruit or whatever that is, right? This year. right now we're going into this year because we have a strategy built out because of the choice that they made. We have a strategy built out, and we are now milking that this year. I'm not talking about still hiring your children or doing S corporation or reasonable compensation, accountant plan, home office. No, a bigger picture. They followed the strategy that we set for them that's going to help them able to do that 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 on taxes. Okay. So does your new accountant that you want to work with, a planner, have a track record? Right? These are the things you want to focus on. Okay. These are the things that you want to focus on. The number one mistake that you can make in your business, with your taxes in your business, is not having the right person. Now, with that being said, I wanted, well, anyways, before I get there, any other questions so far for this before I kind of get into a different topic here? Any questions? You can put it in the comment section below, in the chat, wherever you're watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Put in the comments in the chat. Cool. All right. Awesome.